It's time to talk tourism. It's our weekly conversation with a tourism leader, and Spotlight on Florida is so thrilled to welcome Kelly Harb from Visit Sarasota, Vice President of Communications and Marketing. Kelly, welcome to Spotlight on Florida.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. It's great to have you here. I am a huge fan of Sarasota and and couldn't be happier to have you on board. Let's talk tourism. You ready?
Absolutely.
Okay. Sarasota is well known across all parts and all places for everything that goes on down there. Great city. Now, let's start with talking about one of the things you've got going on right now, one of the programs. So let's start with Savor Sarasota, because everyone likes to know about these weekly, these dining things. So let's talk about that, what you're doing with Savor Sarasota.
Yeah. Savor Sarasota Restaurant Week is an annual thing we've been doing the first 2 weeks of June for the last 20 years now. We're in our 20th year this month. And so we are celebrating for the first 20 days of June this year. Participating restaurants are offering prefix lunches and dinners. And we have over 55 restaurants participating. So it's really a great way to come and explore all of the great dining that we have in the destination here.
I love it. What makes Savor Sarasota unique? What are you guys doing down there that other people can learn from, that you've seen go well, and the reason why probably you've been doing it for 20 years?
Well, one of the things we started doing the last couple of years is we've been gamifying the experience. So you're not just going to restaurants and, trying the menu and paying your $25 for lunch or your $45 for dinner, but also we have something called the flavor trail. And so if you go to savorsarasota.com, you can download the flavor trail, and the more restaurants you go to during the first 20 days of Savor Sarasota, you then are eligible to win prizes as you go to the restaurants and check in and you review, what you had. And, so it makes a more fun experience for mainly the younger audience, if you will, or those that love video games. But we are trying to, bring a little fun in addition to just the fun of experiencing the menus.
That's pretty cool. I like it. You always got to attract those young participants. Always important.
Well, it's important to make sure that we're reaching different audiences. We've got to diversify our audience. So that's one of the ways that we're looking at doing things is by gamification. We've incorporated that into Savor Sarasota Restaurant Week. We also do it with our beaches. We do a gamification with our beach pass. So we have something where it's through the same platform, but if you download it, and the more beaches that you visit and check in, then you can go to our visitor center and you're eligible for, prizes for visiting. And then we also do the same thing with different neighborhoods throughout Sarasota County to get people to experience all of the different areas off of the beaches, different things to do.
So what are we looking at? Give me some numbers if you have them. What the participation of restaurants, how many customers are dining? What are we looking at in terms of numbers, and what do the restaurants think about it all?
I think we have thousands of customers. We know that we have customers that plan their trip to Sarasota just for Savor Sarasota Restaurant Week.
I like
I,
it.
for one, have all my reservations in and I'm ready to go. But we do have people that get together and they will plan day by day where they're going to go for lunch and dinner. And it's a whole thing. And so we do have a big following for that. And it's great for the restaurants because it helps increase the summer visitation. When typically we're a little bit slower outside of our peak season, which is January through March. So this got started 20 years ago, kind of as a brainchild from Michael Klauber with Michael's on East. He's run an iconic restaurant in Sarasota for 30 years now. And our current president, Erin Duggan, she was our PR person back 20 years ago. They got together and put their heads together and said, how can we get visitors coming to Sarasota and visiting our restaurants? And so they came up with Savor Sarasota, and people love it. So it's great for the restaurants and it's great for the visitors too.
We're always watching what you guys are doing down there in Sarasota. I know as the communications, the marketing vice president, you're very busy. The last campaign I saw, we actually featured here on our news headlines a few weeks back, and that was your keys promotion. I got to tell you, first of all, I will let you know this. I was actually in your county this past weekend, and that was awesome. We were working down there, exploring a brand new hotel you probably know about. I know you know about the Cirque.
Can I guess the Cirque Hotel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I should let you guess. Yeah, it's a cool place. We were down there doing a little feature on that. So I was actually in the Keys, and a lot of people don't know there's Keys there, but let us know how that campaign's going too.
Yeah. So, I always say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. And we know that, our friends to the very far south of us, the Florida Keys, we know that, they have keys, but we also have keys too. We have several different barrier islands. We've got Siesta Key, Minnesota Key, Longboat Key, Lido Key. So we have keys also. So our campaign is called the Sarasota Keys Are Calling, not to be confused with the Florida Keys. But that basically got started as a continuation of our Support the 941 campaign, which came out of Hurricanes Helene and Milton. So the Support the 941 campaign was really kind of a grassroots local effort to get residents and businesses engaged in promoting our destination, that we were still vibrant and ready to welcome visitors. And then as a continuation of that, we just wanted to make sure that our islands were feeling the love. And so in the middle of March, we launched the Sarasota Keys Are Calling, to get people back out on the Keys, visiting the beaches, visiting the hotels there, visiting the businesses there. And we ended up extending it. It's going through the summertime. And so it's just kind of grown, and we're seeing good engagement from it. And, we're just continuing that campaign. It's mostly a digital campaign that we're advertising nationally, but it's really been successful in getting media coverage and, lots of people wanting to talk about it.
Yep. I know you've been recognized, you've been awarded a lot of things. What have you seen recently with any of these campaigns that you've been doing?
Well, TripAdvisor named Siesta Key Beach the #1 beach in the United States. Maybe we were given the award about 2 weeks ago at Destinations Florida. And then the 50 best beaches in the world, Siesta Beach was named one of the top beaches on that list. It was the only beach in the United States to make that list. So I think it's just a testament to show how our community and our government have really put the priority on, making sure that our destination is ready to welcome visitors. And, we were resilient in recovering from these storms. And I think these awards really are a testament to that.
Oh, well-deserved too. I saw that one.
Yes.
I thought you might want to mention that one.
Yeah.
#1 beach in the U.S. and the only one.
Yeah, the #1 beach in the U.S. and #8 in the world, I believe.
Right.
At the same time, yes.
Pretty cool. You're doing good things down there. Listen, I want to take a second here because, there's a lot of talk about this tourist development tax, how it's used, these marketing campaigns. Break it down for everybody why it's so important that there be money for the marketing for these type of campaigns and why it's so crucial to the economy.
Yeah, so when you come and stay in Sarasota overnight paid lodging, you pay 6% of tourist development tax. And that is how we collect our funding for the next year. Visit Sarasota gets between 17 and 21% of tourist development tax. The rest of it goes to beach renourishment, capital improvement, sports stadiums, things that visitors will utilize and enjoy as well. So we do share that funding as well. But it is really important and vital that we continue to get that money and continue to spread the good word about Sarasota, because we know that if you create a place that people want to visit, you create a place that people want to live, and then you create a place that people want to invest in, and then you create a place that people want to visit. So it's a cycle that, you have to keep feeding into it year after year. And we do that. We are a public-private partnership. So we get most of our funding through tourist development tax dollars. And then our private funding, we have to match 10% of whatever we get from the county through tourist development tax. We have to raise through advertising in our visitor guide and also through memberships with Visit Sarasota.
Interesting. Okay. Now, the other thing you touched on just a few moments ago, I got to make sure we have a second to talk about this, is hurricane season. We are now officially in hurricane season. Boy, you guys had a rough one last year, and hoping that we see no storms at all. But what is a group like yours doing right now to prepare, and what's the whole plan?
So we have a plan. The week at the Tuesday, we're very specific. The Tuesday after National Travel and Tourism Week, when we're done throwing that celebration for our industry, we get together as a staff and we go through our crisis communication plan. You'd be amazed at how many things need to change just from one year. And so we kind of go through that plan. We take a look at, reviewing all of the policies, all of the procedures, all of the things that we need to do. We got a new visitor information vehicle and we acquired storage for it. And so we had to add that to our crisis communication plan. Who takes it there? How does it get there? So we had to have all of these things ready to go. So what we do is we make sure that week after National Travel and Tourism Week, we sit down as a staff and we go over that together. If there are any questions or anything we need to clarify with the Emergency Operations Center with Sarasota County government, we review with them. And we just make sure that we're all on the same page for everything. And then directly after hurricane season, we get together and kind of do a recap and take a look at what worked, what didn't work. We make notes in our crisis communication plan for the next year. So that has become really paramount in making sure that we are all prepared, that we're all on the same page, and anybody that we onboard new, we make sure that, it is written in a way that if you are brand new to our organization, you understand very clearly what needs to happen if and when a storm is coming. And it's broken down from anywhere from 72 hours out to 24 hours out to, directly after the storm hit. So we have everything pretty clearly outlined in there. So that is the key thing that we do. And, our staff are always running 100 million different directions, but we do make sure that we prioritize that, especially after last season.
Oh, yeah. Was it 3 storms you guys got hit by?
We had Hurricane Debbie, and then we had Hurricane Helene, which never actually hit. It just went up off of the coast. Right. But that was a big water event for us. And then 13 days later, we had Hurricane Milton, and that was a wind event. And that was a direct hit on Siesta Key. So we had
that's incredible.
Quite a time.
Well, we've covered here how the storm and now rated the #1 beach all within a year. Yes. That's pretty impressive. Running out of time, but I want to make sure we've got a lot of folks in the industry watching. Any trends, anything you want to talk about, what you're seeing either in digital marketing or anything that you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, right now for us, we're really focused on reaching out to the luxury market, the family market. Summer's always a big time where we focus on drive market as well. And, the way we are reaching those markets is really through digital. We do a lot of out of home, a lot of programmatic displays. And the reason for that is I think it's really important, especially during the big H season or the windy season, as we call it, is that, if something were to happen in our destination, that we're able to stop that messaging right away. We don't have something in print laying around, and it's just not a good look when, we're in the news the day before for a storm or something like that. So we do try to make sure that anything that we do, we can be very nimble with it, and turn it off and on as needed.
All right, Kelly Harb, Marketing Communications Vice President, Visit Sarasota. Sounds like great things going on down there. We thank you so much for joining us here in the early days of Spotlight on Florida and being one of our first guests. And it's great to have you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me, and good luck.
Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon. Please come back. You're going to come back, right?
I sure will.
Okay.
Anytime. Okay.
We'll see you soon. That's going to wrap it up for this episode of Spotlight on Florida. Watch us on social media and be sure to tune in every week. We'll see you next time.